Hello and welcome to another episode of Historic Hindsight. I'm John, that's Tom, and today we're doing Spy versus Spy.
That's right, Johnny. Spy versus Spy. If it took place during the Civil War, and it was Alan Pinkerton versus a Confederate female spy by the name of Boyd Belle. So that's kind of what we got going on here.
Okay, so is this a bio episode?
This is a Civil War and special. It is a bio episode for Boyd Belle, or Belle Boyd. Boyd Belle?
Belle Boyd.
Belle Boyd, yep.
Belle, that makes more sense than Boyd Belle. She was a Confederate spy?
She is a Confederate spy. She is a mistress. She is a lover. She is a freedom fighter for the dirty rebels, if you will. And probably the most proficient and successful spy during the Civil War, or at least one of the most well-known. I'm not entirely sure if a lot of her reputation is earned or not, but a lot
of notoriety, though, around her.
She is caught multiple times during the war and is freed multiple times during the war due to her, shall we just say, femininity. That's what we'll play it off as.
Yep.
She does have...
so she was captured, and she was still one of their best spies? Yeah. Multiple times captured?
Well, Johnny, it's the South.
And she was the good one.
This is the South.
Just because... but what? Okay, was her spying good, or was her
ability to get herself out of trouble,
persuasion to get out of being caught good?
I think that one might be better
because those are different.
She does have great nicknames throughout the war, such as Cleopatra of Secession, the Siren of the Shenandoah, which that one's my favorite. The Siren of the Shenandoah, that one's my favorite.
That's a good one.
And La Belle Rebelle, which is another one there. The Siren of the Shenandoah is definitely the best one. The La Belle Rebelle is a pretty good.
I like
pretty
that
good mock-up on her name there.
That's
and her ultimate skill here, Johnny, is going to be.
That's what I would call her.
Yeah, her ultimate skill here is going to be
seduction
/ seduction. Yeah, that's gonna be it. 100%. That's where we are with her. She was born.
I mean, really. I mean, come on. She was going and talking to a bunch of horny teenagers and 20-somethings and looking for information at a bar, and the only girl to ever give him attention. They're like, you know what? I don't even care if you're a spy. I'm gonna go for this anyway.
Yeah, I don't even need to. You did it. The episode's over. The shortest one.
That's the whole thing. That's it.
Yeah,
all right. Well,
that's pretty much it.
That's it for this week in Historic Hindsight. Thanks for listening.
She was born Isabella Marie Boyd on May 9th, 1844, in Martinsburg, Virginia, which is now West Virginia. Take that, you dirty rebels! You sucked so bad at your job that a huge state seceded from within your secession. So there you go.
And so she wasn't even, I mean, if she were born after the Civil War, she wouldn't have been born in a southern state.
And she is spying on the North in an area that is very pro-Union, so that's kind of brave of her, I guess, in that regard. But she's going to get some preliminary education, and by that I mean very little schooling, because this is the age where... women...
Why would she need an education?
Yeah, exactly. Why would she need an education, Johnny? But she is going to go off...
She has a family to raise, Tommy.
Johnny, she is going to go off to college, because this is the age of Southern belles, and by college, I mean she's going to attend the Mount Washington Female College in Baltimore, Maryland, at the ripe old age of 12, because we are going to be marrying them off at the age of 14.
Holy cow! So we've got a real Doogie Howser here.
No, this is a finishing school, Johnny. This is where she learns to be a Southern belle,
real college.
Debutante. Yeah, this is not a college. This is where you go to.
This is manners lessons, and how to etiquette and how to dress to host a party or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
right. Like,
and not
how to be a lady,
cook, because that's not. We got the slaves for that. That's not her. She's not learning how to cook or clean.
They need to be gracious hostesses.
Yeah, she's there to learn how to be a gracious hostess. You are 100% correct, Johnny. She had such a rambunctious and rebel attitude that allegedly the legend goes that during her youth, her parents had a party that they hosted in their house that she was not allowed to attend because she was too young.
Sure.
Little Belle...
I remember those parties.
Yeah, Little Belle's going to go sneak out to the barn, get on top of the family horse, and then ride family horse into the middle of the living room and said, the horse isn't too young to attend this party. Boom! Suck it.
No, but it's too much of a horse, you stupid little child. Like, what... Listen to what I mean, not what I say. Like, come on. That's pretty good,
I just put that one in there because it's a stupid little... there's a 0% chance that actually happened, but... Yeah, it's a good little anecdote.
I mean, So I've been in like old house. I guess I haven't been in the rich ones, but like Connor Prairie has like the old style houses. Horses can't fit through those.
Yeah,
you're
not gonna get a horse
if she's well off in a manor or something. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean she's a relatively well-to-do. They own slaves, Johnny. So
it could have been a small horse too. Who knows?
Yeah, well, and it's a family that owns slaves, so it's going to be a decent enough size manor here. Yeah. Yep. And at just 17 years old, Johnny, the rebellion is going to start, and this unmarried spinster, because she's 17 and she's still not married, is going to make her name known pretty early on during the war. And I preface everything from this point on to the very end of the episode is take it with a grain of salt, because most of it comes from her memoirs, which are mostly bullshit.
Are we not to trust the Dirty South?
No, it's a highly fabricated memoir, like a lot of like truthiness looking into it. Like when you do some fact checking, the facts don't exactly line up. So I'm going to tell you it as she would tell you it. With my interpretation,
because that's more interesting.
Because it's my series and I can do what I want, so that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So we're going to feed you lies.
We're going to feed you lies, and then we're going to feed you lies, and pretty much through the whole episode, I'm going to slut shame, because you're going to find out here in a second. But her spy career, Johnny, is going to begin, according to her, by happen chance, because allegedly Winchester, or the city that she lives in, Martinsburg, it's going to fall very, very early on in the war, because it's Western Virginia, and Western Virginia was very pro-Union anyways. So Western Virginia, if you followed our Civil War in hindsight, it fell like within the first few weeks of the war.
Yeah.
So allegedly, after Martinsburg falls, Union soldiers are going to enter the city. They're going to hear rumors that she, specifically Belle Boyd, is housing Confederate flags in her room, and so they go on July 1st, 1861, to go confiscate said Confederate flags.
Was she using them like they were in her room though, right? Like was she using them as like a background for her OnlyFans?
This is definitely like this is like teenage girl like putting up
Justin poster
Bieber
on the
posters.
Wall. Yeah.
That's exactly what we've got going on here. Now, given the great dictator's laws regarding like Confederate sympathizers, I totally believe that the Union soldiers did in fact go to that home, did in fact raid that home, and did in fact find Confederate flags. Like that's
mostly what they did, at least early on, after Lincoln pretty much gave them permission to go raid whatever they wanted.
Yeah, pretty much.
If they thought it was a Southern sympathizer.
Now, during this altercation, allegedly, the Union boys forced her family to fly a Union flag from the front of the home, and as they were leaving, they called her mother a very long list of inappropriate wordage that Belle Boyd took such offense to that she grabbed the family pistol and shot the boy who was saying those rude words in the chest, where he would slowly bleed out several hours later.
Well, I mean, you're a soldier. You're not there to give your opinion on matters. You're there to confiscate Confederate material or whatever. Like, keep your mouth shut, kid.
Keep your mouth shut. And he dies. And so a inquest into this murder.
Well, he does eventually because he gets killed.
Yeah. Inquest into this murder. The commanding officers of the North say, she was justified in that, because apparently at this time, saying rude, curt words is justification for being shot in the face, because Civil War. That's
because 1800s
the world
is
that
why.
we live in. So she's exonerated of all.
I mean, what he must have been saying some pretty profane things in order for them to, not for her to shoot him, but for them to justify
that she shot him. Yeah.
that this Confederate sympathizer shot this man.
Now, the family does not get off completely scot-free. They are listed as rebel supporters and constantly have guards outside their home that are posted, so that
just chilling.
I guess this is a detail to have there.
Cool.
It is, and it does become the detail to have, because it is these guards that she's first going to begin her spy techniques. Allegedly, she's going to befriend the Union captain Daniel Kelly. It's Keily. I don't really know how you would pronounce that. Kylie. Yeah. He's going to sort of court her, bringing her flowers, little trinkets, and in exchange, during the pillow talk time, she's going to learn of some of the Union movements and plans here to come in the Shenandoah Valley.
Okay, all right, great. So wait, real quick, if I were somebody in war and somebody gave me secrets for the other side. I wouldn't know what to do with that. Well, how does she know who to tell?
Right? Like, I'm assuming she's...
Where do you go? Do you just go to, like, the office of the spies and hand over your information?
I think you can go find the Confederate lines, which are, probably not that far off, and give it to an officer.
Just go walk and find an army?
What she does here, when she takes this information, she writes said information down. She puts it in a hollowed-out pocket watch. So basically a pocket watch. She takes out the innards of the pocket watch. She puts that note inside said pocket watch. She is then going to give that note to her slave, Eliza Hopwell, to deliver to the nearest Confederate outpost to give to the officers there so that they can exchange that information.
Oh, that's dirty. She's using her slave to help the Confederacy.
Yeah, and this is where her spy attempt, it's already right off the bat, any logical person would go, probably not the smart move to use your slave to go deliver information that will hurt the army that's trying to free her.
Right, but at the same time, these people thought so little of their slaves and their mental capacity, and they thought they'd just go and along with whatever they tell them to, because that's what they are, right? They're just people that do whatever you tell them to.
Yeah, shockingly though, that information gets turned over to the Union lines, who probably go to Belle Boyd and say, listen, you can't do that. This is in fact treason, and we can in fact hang you for this, so...
Probably shoulda.
Don't do it again. But since you're such a pretty little girl, we're going to go ahead and let you have at it. And by the way, I put a picture up there of her, which I guess for all the pictures I've seen of Southern women at the time... yeah, she's probably attractive enough by today's standards.
I haven't.
Not so much. In any case, she's going to attempt, like I said, to reevaluate her situation here and probably not use her slaves in the future for said spy rings. Now, Johnny, after this first attempted caught here, she's not arrested, but she is caught, and stern talking to that's given, and I'm sure there was no
do you think it's a bit
exchange of goods and services to get out of being in trouble.
Also, do you think it's just a bit of this is a harmless young girl who is trying
to
play
I imagine at this point
thing, and she's not a real threat. She's just it's just some stupid little girl.
At this point, they're probably thinking stupid little girl. Now, one of her more famous escapades is going to follow pretty shortly thereafter. In mid-May of 1862, a Union general by the name of James Shields and his staff is going to gather in a parlor at the local hotel in Martinsburg. Boyd is going to eavesdrop on the meeting from a closet where she'd learned that Shields had been ordered east to Port Royal, and like an idiot, they also discussed the size of their army and when they're going to move and how they're going to move and all that fun stuff that they probably should have done in a more
I just didn't think people
location.
went to bars and talked about things like that.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah. Just don't
Also, how'd she get into the closet? Was she there before they got there?
Yeah, she was there before she knew where the meeting was going to take place, got there before they met there. Actually, when she was in the closet, she
just happened to be in a closet.
Yeah, she whittled out the keyhole so it was bigger so that she could look through it and shit too. Yeah, she went all about this allegedly, according to her own.
Yeah, I was gonna. This is like a movie I'd watch as a kid, spying out a keyhole and they don't know you're there.
Yeah. Now, Boyd...
But she did it, okay.
She didn't... Yeah.
We'll say she did.
Boyd that night is going to ride through the Union lines with a falsified pass, granting her passage, and, I'm sure she just kind of batted her eyes at any of the Union patrols that stopped her and was like, "Why, sir, I'm just I'm just a lost little girl trying to get to my grandpa's house." I'm sure, whatever.
Being a woman in general, I'm sure they... just kind of...
They probably just escorted her. Well, do you want an escort, ma'am?
It's kind of late. What are you doing? It might be unsafe. Would you like us to expedite your ride?
She is going to reach General Jackson's line and give that information to General Jackson, detailing the Union movements and size and their positions and all that fun stuff. And allegedly, on May 23rd, 1862, when Jackson's men ride into Point Royal, she is going to actually ride through Union lines again to get to Jackson's lines to give specific details of, hey, the enemy Union force is not that strong. If you do a charge right now, you'll push him off the field, which General Jackson takes that advice to heed and does push the Union lines off. And he's going to respond to her by sending her a letter that says, and I quote, "I thank you for myself and for the Army for the immense service that you have rendered to your country today." She's going to be rewarded the Southern Cross of...
Not a country.
Not a country, yeah, I know, but he thinks of this. She's going to be awarded the Southern Cross for her bravery here. She's going to be given...
Not a real medal.
She's going to be given the honorary title of captain, and she's going to be given free access to the Confederate lines pretty much wherever she goes because she's an honorary captain now. So this is where the Union really screws up. Like, you should have probably, like, flipped her and, like, did a double spy thing, which maybe they did. They captured her, like, 6 times, so maybe, like, they did flip her, and it was, like, a spy versus spy thing, but probably not.
No, I'm pretty sure they got handies and let her go.
Yeah, it might have been that one. That one might be the bit more accurate here. She is going to be arrested a total of 6 times during this war.
Good Lord.
And she...
Like, at some point, like...
Stop.
Just put her in a cell and lock the key and throw it away.
We're going to get there, Johnny. She keeps getting released because, well, you know, handies.
Yeah. She got good.
She got good at something. There we go. Pinkerton himself is going to send 3 men of his own detectives out to attempt to get her arrested before her major arrest here. But much like the Pinkertons' fame anywhere they went during this whole war and then post-war, they really didn't do anything. And it was really more of like this embellished issue than anything else. And because Pinkerton's trying to, like, you know, make a name for his, like, little security company. So he has a habit of making shit up. So this is not helping her reputation any by the fact that he's sending 3 of his detectives to go capture her, which they do. And I'm putting that in quotes here because when she gets captured, the good time, which she actually does see some jail time here, it's because a slighted lover turns her in. So this is one of those Union boys who got a handy J and found out that he wasn't the only one getting that handy J. And they were like,
"You don't really love me? Golly, mister!" Jesus. Okay, so somebody turned her in finally. But they knew, right? They knew who she was.
Yeah, they knew who she was. Like, yeah, her reputation, like, that's why Pinkerton sent a crew to get her, because, like, they knew who she was at this point.
Pick her up, but she's just strolling around delivering services for information, all she wants.
Yep, that's all she's doing. She's going to be arrested on July 29th, 1862, so her career isn't the longest here. She only makes it a little over a year.
Yikes. And this is their best, again, their best spy.
I said best, no. Well, I mean, like one of the better
most well-known spy. Yeah. The spy they decided to make most famous.
The very next day, on July 30th, she's going to be sent to Old Capitol Prison in Washington, D.C., where already on August 7th, the commanding officer of said prison has to do an inquiry because he gave strict orders that she is not to leave her cell, be kept under lock and key and observation, and she's just kind of roaming the halls of the prison, giving handy J's to all the jailers.
Well, like, hey, sir, you know, I observed her, and she looked mighty nice, and it would be a shame to keep something that nicely in that cage there, so I figured little Miss Boyd, she might want a little walk, so I let her out. No harm in that, right? Jesus, what kind of cops did we have, or jail guards, whatever it would be?
Pretty much the same ones that we have nowadays, Jesus. Johnny. Just horny teenagers.
Well, there was
anything else, yeah.
There was not too long ago the prison guard that took like $1,000 to let a bunch of dudes into the women's area to rape them all.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Pretty much the same people we got jailing today is what we did then. In any case, Johnny, her incarceration is not going to last for long because on August 29th, 1862, she's going to be released as a part of a prisoner exchange at Fort Monroe.
On. What are you doing? Who did we get back? Who did we get? What was the trade?
I don't have the information, Johnny.
What? You don't have the trade details here?
No, I don't have the trade details. I just know that she was a part of that trade trade release. Maybe I'll have some more details when we get to there in the Civil War in Hindsight episode, but I doubt it. In any case, in June of 1863, she's going to be arrested again. but
weird.
But quickly released this time because she contracts typhoid fever, and they're like, get her the fuck out of any union position that we can possibly have her in, because we don't want that spreading like the plague.
That's fair. Except maybe, I don't know, just lock her in her basement.
Or hang her? Like, I mean, it's treason. Like, and you, like, fool me once, shame
several
on me,
times.
fool me twice. You know, and then again and again and again. Yep. It's like, at this point, like, you gotta, like, like, she's an enemy at this point. In 18...
She's been an enemy from the beginning. Should have hung her the first time.
She is going to, in 1864, attempt to smuggle herself and a bunch of letters that Trader President Davis gave her, which I'm assuming the letters are like, please, Queen, can you come and save us? Because the war's not going very well for us. Did she put herself in a mailbag? Yeah, she gets herself with a mailbag full of, Trader President Davis's his letters. She's going to smuggle herself on a boat and try to, like, get over to England and caught...
Oh, how miserable.
And caught, like, right off the bat at the Union blockade because, like... At this point, it's 1864, and the war is really not going well for the South. I
like to think it's just a giant sack, and you can clearly see the outline of a human person just, like, hiding it, and it was some letters stacked around it.
She said she was trying to smuggle letters for Trader President Davis. What's really probably going on is that it's 1864 in the South, and she's starving. She's like, the hell with this, I'm going to England. Like, that's probably really what she's
out of here. Yeah. She's like, no, I'll bring your letters along the way, but I'm getting the hell out of this this shit show now.
While detained, she's going to be banished to Canada, because can't see a more hellish place to go than Canada in the winter of 1864, but that
probably wasn't great.
Where she's going to be headed. And she's going to meet a Union naval officer by the name of Samuel Wild Hardinge, and the two are later going to be married in late 1864 in England, when apparently that banishment went right out the window, when the Union naval officer's like, it's my wife. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, I know her reputation.
I get it.
She told me that, like, she really does love me. It's like, so I make fun, but I was a schmuck who fell for that once. Before. But it happens. It happens to all of us schmucks. It's okay.
Happens to the best of us.
In 1865, after the war's over, she's going to publish her 2-volume memoir of her war years, in which most of it is highly, highly dubious, because when you look at it underneath a microscope, the facts aren't really lining up with said evidence. So,
all right, so let me get this straight. We had a Southern sympathizer spy found out and caught 6 times, and instead of doing anything to, I don't know, stop the treason, to kill her, to imprison her for life, or whatever else, we kept letting her out, and then she married a Union officer and wrote 2 books.
A book, 2 volumes.
2 volumes of a book.
Yeah.
Based on all of the crimes she committed against the United States of America.
Yes.
Made money off of that.
Yes.
And just probably died a little old lady somewhere?
No, story's not over yet, Johnny. Buckle up.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Now, her marriage is not going to last very long. It's Samuel Hardinge.
Weird. I wonder why. Well, what happened?
He's going to die in 1866. I could not find out what he died of, but he's going to die in 1866.
He probably died of her murdering him.
Probably. He's going to die in England. And to support herself and her... Oh, by the way, they had a daughter. I forgot to mention that. Totally had a daughter, which I'm sure 100% looked like her father, because we always look like the father, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the husband. Any case, had a daughter. To support herself and her daughter, she's going to turn to a life of acting, Johnny, and she's going to star in her first play, The Lady of Lions, in Manchester in 1866.
Tommy, this is going the opposite way I wanted it to go, because now she's getting more opportunity and fame and money.
Yeah, buckle up. This is gonna get even better for her, Johnny. After the run of this play, she's going to return to America and continue her acting career under the name Nina Benjamin, where she's going to star in a play in New Orleans. Yeah, we let her back. I mean, she does change her name for her acting career to Nina Benjamin.
Feels to me like maybe there ought to have been a picture of her hanging up in every post office in America saying, "Traitor, don't let her back in the United States."
Banished her to Canada.
But she's back and also famous actress now. Yep. That's cool.
Yep. She's going to star in a play.
What'd she do?
She's a star in a play in Nolans, where she's going to meet her second husband, John Swanston Hammond, in March of 1869. And Hammond is a former British officer who fought for the Union during the Civil War. So I think she might just have a fetish for boys in blue. Cause,
No. It's not a fetish, Tommy. She knows how to pull their strings. Like, she's a fucking marionette over here just doing what she wants with these little boys in blue. Good God.
She sure, in fact, is. And her marriage in that one is going to end in 1884 in divorce. So she can marry her third husband, Nathaniel Ruhai, in 1885 and begin her tour of the United States, Johnny, where she's going to play herself in a play that she wrote about her own exploits during the war. So now, not only does she write a book and make money about it, she is going town to town,
saying, listen up, buckos, this is how I was a traitor and committed treason, which is a crime punishable by death.
Yep.
But here's how I did it, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Hey, Johnny, the story is going to end here in
Thank God, when she gets hanged for treason?
No, she, on June 11th, 1900, while visiting Wisconsin Dells, where she's doing a play there, she's going to die of a heart attack. So...
nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, she died of a heart attack. She is still buried there. Gravestone simply reads, Belle Boyd, Confederate spy, born in Virginia, died in Wisconsin, erected by a comrade, and a great shag. The last great shag's not actually on there, but I'm going to chisel. Okay. I'm going to chisel great shag.
You're going to go and do it,
on that headstone, because, come on.
Christ, America was a mess in the 1800s. That's it for this week in Historic Hindsight. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and join us next week when we continue our presidential series and talk about Thomas Jefferson.